There is so much with this spacecraft, the capabilities of this spacecraft, that other spacecraft don't have. I'll give you an example. Our final sim was on Monday. And in our final sim, our sim team, they build these scenarios, and they'll fail this and fail that as we go through this process to train us, like I said earlier, for all possible outcomes, right? Anything we can think of. So on our first run in this simulation we're running, we had a problem with the rocket itself, which caused us to abort early. We did not make it to orbit. And in that abort, we have several areas we abort. One of them is near Shannon, Ireland. So we abort to Shannon. And we have a lat long that I punch into this backup control display, which is our fail-safe display. And I punch a lat long in there, and the spacecraft is supposed to fly it there and land pretty much very close to that point, okay? The guidance failed just before we hit the plasma in the atmosphere. And the pointy end is pointing towards the heat. You want the thermal protection end pointing towards the heat. So we're almost 180 degrees out. Well, the only option is to go into manual mode and maneuver to the attitude manually. That manual mode was set up at 1 degree a second. We couldn't get there quick enough. Sonny goes back up. Back up is our fail-safe mode. It's basically the computers are not involved in the thought process. There's another computer that says, you want to roll right, fire that jet, fire that jet. Hope this isn't boring for you, but that's the way it works. And so in this backup mode, which is our fail-safe mode, how close do you think we got to that intended point of impact? I mean, we're landing in the water off of Shannon, but we're using this bang-bang filter basically to control the spacecraft. We got the back end pointed into the heat just in time from when the failure came in, and we landed within 200 meters. That's like between here and that building, between the point. There's no other spacecraft in the world that can do that. It can do it automatically, it can do it in manual mode, and on our fail-safe mode, we can still hit the bullseye. There's not another spacecraft that does that on the globe. And that's what this spacecraft does. It's a capability. That's one of many stories I could tell you about this spacecraft that set it apart and make it different.